Hello everyone and welcome to another Minecraft video where today guys I'm going to be teaching you guys how to build a mega base in survival. So make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get to how you guys are going to be able to build a mega build in Minecraft survival mode, or even in creative if you so choose. So the first tip I'm going to give you guys is planning. So when you guys are going to be doing a mega build, make sure you guys plan it first. Whether that's through you drawing it, whether you guys do it online, or whether you guys just do it in a creative world like I did with this build here. If you guys remember this build was going to be a build I built on a survival server, but I am thinking of doing a tweaked version of this build and a slightly larger in scale and stuff on another world, but that will not be shown in today's video, but that's getting sidetracked. But this is so important that you guys do. Make sure you guys do a plan. You guys don't have to add in the details if you guys don't want to. I would recommend you do. So when you guys are going back and you guys are doing this in your survival worlds, when you guys are adding in your details and stuff, you can know what you're adding in. But if you guys just want to add in details in a survival world and you don't want to do it in your creative world, then just do that. But make sure you have a marking, like measure out how long you're going to need, how much space you're going to need extra. Just make sure you guys have a plan of how your structure generally is going to look. You don't have to do the full build like I did, but for the sake of the build, I would recommend you do the full build if you guys want to get the maximum effect. The next one, guys, is simply area selection. So when you guys are planning on where you're going to build your mega build, whether it's a medieval looking castle or whether it's a mansion or whatever, make sure you guys find an area that would fit well with the block palette. So when you guys are picking out an area for, let's say, a medieval castle, for example, you may want to put this in maybe a spruce forest, or you might want to put it in a savanna, but a savanna would not look good with this. You want to make sure that the theme that you're going for would fit. So if you guys are doing like an Egyptian type pyramid, that would go best in like a desert, or like Mediterranean, again, would go in a desert. But if you're doing something medieval, I would say do it in a spruce forest or something like that, because you guys do realize that you end up making sure like it looks like it fits in with the area around it. You do not want your build to stick out like a sore thumb, unless you want that. If you want that, then that's fine, but I personally would recommend as a builder that you guys do not try and do stuff that don't fit the area, unless you're like really good and can mesh the themes and stuff. But most people cannot do that, so I recommend just finding the right biome for this. So if you guys are doing medieval, I would recommend trying to do in like a spruce forest or something like that, so you guys do not make it stick out like a sore thumb. So let's go on to the next tip. So the next tip I will give you guys is make sure you guys terraform around your terrain. So once you guys have picked out an area and you have, if you needed to flatten it out, then you guys make sure you guys, once you have marked it out and you guys know an area that you guys are wanting to do it in, make sure you guys terraform. You can do this later if you guys prefer, but I would recommend doing your terraforming ASAP, so you guys can start to make your area surrounding it look natural and make it look really nice. And obviously then you can go around adding in little light features to make sure that you obviously do not have mobs in your area. So yeah, that is my next tip. My next step for you guys is you guys beginning the exterior construction in survival. So if I was to build this in survival, I would separate this off into chunks. So if I was to start building this right now, I would do the doorway first, obviously, and then I would separate it off, and I would do one tower, and then I would do the other tower, and then I would continue the design onwards, and I would break it off into sections and time. Now you guys should know this by now, but whenever you guys are doing a mega build, do not rush it. Your mega build is meant to take as long as you need, and typically the mega builds that you guys end up doing that take so little time and like are over in like a few hours don't end up looking as good as you want them, or they end up looking straight up trash. I'll be honest with you guys. So make sure you guys are taking your time with your mega builds, and you guys are really working at your details and characteristics of your build. And also, don't forget to take breaks. That is something I'll include in this tip. Don't forget to take breaks, guys, because honestly, doing a mega build like this in survival can be very, very draining. So make sure you guys are taking really good breaks with that. But also, just doing little bits of it at a time in the world. Do not spend hours and hours and hours on it unless you know that you guys can manage that. Like, do not spend like a ridiculous amount of hours doing it all at once. Just take your time, break it off into sections if you need to. And yeah, that is my next tip. Let's go on to the next one. Guys, you guys now have your terraform terrain, and you also have your build started. So what you guys are going to do, if you guys have not terraformed and customized your terrain, you'll do that before, or you can do this a little bit later on, but you would do that and you will blend the terrain in with your terraform terrain. So if you guys want to, you guys could try and terraform around your build, just to try and make it look a little bit less bland. If you guys have some more bland sections of your build, then you guys can do that. And yeah, that is a really, really simple little step, but I thought I'd include it in this video. Let's go on to our next step. The next step to doing your interior, guys. So when you are doing your mega builds, make sure you guys have a plan of how you guys are going to do in your interior. So when you guys are planning out how you guys are going to do your interior, maybe have like an IRL drawing of the little rooms that you guys plan on having, or you can mark it out in Minecraft with like a distinct block, like maybe gold or clay or whatever. If you guys are in a creative world, just plotting it out. But as long as you guys mark out how many rooms you want, where you want your rooms and stuff, then you guys can definitely be able to plan out your interiors, and then you guys can begin to construct your interiors, which is also really, really fun. And you guys should take your time on that. Do not rush it, because it can be a really fun process. And it can be a nice little divider and break from the exterior construction that you guys were previously doing. And to add on to that clip really quickly, guys, you guys can also make sure you guys apply the same step to the previous steps I've mentioned, where you guys take a break and maybe play something else if you guys feel like you are burned out, because that will never help you guys develop your mega building skills. So when you guys are doing a mega build and you feel like you need a break, make sure you take a break. So the next step, guys, is you simply can start to customize your terrain. So when you guys are doing this, make sure you guys landscape. So once you guys have made your terraforming, you've blended it in with the terrain, this step is applicable to you. So you guys will go ahead and start adding details to your grass and your scenery. So maybe you want to add in some trees, for instance, if you want to add in like a few trees, or you want to add in a little pathway that leads outside of your little mega build, or you guys want to do like some bushes or some flowers or whatever. It can take either as long or as little time as you want, depending on what you guys feel like. So if you want to bone meal it, you can bone meal it. If you want to add like really nice bushes and trees and ponds and stuff, then you can do that. It's really up to you as a builder or as an individual to make that decision yourself, but it depends on how you really want your exterior to look. And yeah, that is my next tip. So let's go on to the next one. So the penultimate tip, guys, is make sure you guys are adding minor little details to your build. So when you guys are finished with your main structure, you guys can go in and add some personal little details to your build. So if you guys, let's say, wanted to have maybe a little cage for a rare mob that you guys have, or you want to have like a little house or a little containment area for your villagers, then you guys can make a little containment area for your villagers and have them as a prized possession in your world. And that can be simply where you do that. And now let's go on to the final group of tips. So my final tips, guys, I'm going to combine into one tip. So guys, make sure you guys, as I've been saying throughout this video, are making sure that you guys are aware that you guys can set yourself goals, or you guys can simply take it easy pace. Make sure you guys definitely do not overwork yourself, do not overcompensate yourself, and do not make sure that you do not let yourself get burnt out. Make sure you guys do not get to the point where you are burned out and you guys do not want to work on your mega builds anymore, because that is what happens with a lot of mega builds. They end up half finished and then they never end up getting worked on ever again in your survival worlds, and then they look really weird. So yeah, make sure you guys take a breaks often. Obviously, make sure you apply any of these tips to help you, and yeah, make sure you also are aware of the fact that you can actually plan it out in your head, obviously. So make sure you guys are doing that when you guys are planning. Make sure you guys do not feel like you're overworked or overwhelmed. If you guys do, make sure you reduce the size of it, obviously, so it fits more in line with something that you guys feel comfortable and know that you can do without getting to the stage that you feel like you never want to touch the build again. Because trust me, there's been times where even I have felt like that over the years as a builder. So yeah, make sure you guys are aware of that. And that, yeah, that is all the tips. Yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for the immense support on today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this amazing how to make a mega base in Minecraft video. If you have, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe and share this video around with your family and friends. Let's get this video over 20 likes, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial video. Goodbye, guys.